One of the most fascinating things that I've observed after spending more than 3 decades working in spirituality is this. Many women begin experiencing strong intuitive or psychic awareness in their midlife, and it often catches them completely by surprise because they start noticing things like knowing who's about to call, sensing when something isn't right, picking up on people's emotions instantly, having vivid dreams or powerful gut feelings. And the first thought usually is, am I imagining this? But in many cases, you're not imagining anything at all. So we've got to ask ourselves, why is this happening in midlife? Because midlife is a profound transition, not just physically or emotionally, but spiritually as well. For decades, most women have been focusing on bringing up their children, supporting their family, building their career, holding the family together, holding everything together. But midlife is when something begins shifting inward, and the noise of life quietens down just enough for your inner awareness to become louder. And the funny thing is that ancient wisdom has always known this. Interestingly, many ancient traditions talk about this stage of life. In Kabbalah, there is a understanding that spiritual awareness deepens as we mature. In Buddhism, wisdom is said to arise through lived experience, and even in mystical Christianity, many spiritual figures don't fully step into their calling until later in life. And in Wicca, well, you don't mess with the crow. So this awakening of intuition is not new. It's simply something our modern culture just doesn't talk about very much. But let's get clear about something. Let's clear it up. Intuition is not about being dramatic or mystical. It's simply a deeper form of knowing. It's the quiet voice that says, pay attention to this. Because most people learn to ignore it. But midlife often brings us back into a relationship with it. And I guess we have to ask ourselves, why is it that we notice it more now? And I think it's because women often experience this awakening strongly because they've spent so many decades developing emotional intelligence. We've learnt to read people, you've navigated relationships, you've paid attention to the subtle cues. Midlife simply refines that awareness. The most important thing to remember, though, is that your intuition is becoming stronger. As it's becoming stronger, the most important thing is not to make it strange or dramatic, because it's not about proving anything. It's simply about learning to trust your inner knowing again. Because intuition is not something new. It's something that's always been there. And you're just finally starting to listen. So before I sign off and say goodbye, just remember that midlife isn't just a time of change. For many women, it's a time of deep remembering, and intuition is often one of the first things that begins to awaken. So I'd love for you to tell me in the comments below, have you noticed your intuition becoming stronger in midlife? I'd love to hear about it. And tell me if you have, what experiences have you had? And until next time, I'll talk to you then.